Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go. Hola, amigas. Hi, friends. Could not be more excited. I am doing a live challenge for my Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Facebook community this week. So whether you are joining us live in the challenge or maybe you're catching this podcast at a later date, I hope you feel my energy because I could not be more excited to give you everything I have when it comes to creating a 3-day work week or the work week of your dreams. The challenge is called the 3-Day Entrepreneur, and it's really designed to, what I realized is I was helping more and more of my clients with successful six-figure, multi-six-figure businesses really create more freedom in their business as they increase their profit. And we just do this by being so intentional with our time and our calendaring. So I made a whole challenge on it. When I created the challenge workbook, I literally did a screen grab of my current Google Calendar. So you can trust that this is what I practice is what I preach, or vice versa. What I preach is what I practice. It really is what I live. And I'm so excited to help you unlock your dream schedule so that you make a ton of money this year, but you're doing it in work hours that you love. I have worked so many schedules. When my kids were first born, I worked about 6 days a week for 2 hours a day. And I really did this while they were sleeping. I didn't have any childcare. And then I eventually moved to about, graduating to where I'm at now, which is working about 3 days a week. I'll share about that in a second. But every iteration I have in the challenge workbook, like a little depiction and just a reminder that whether you're working 6 days, 2 hours a week, 4 days, 3 hours a week, 2 days, 6 hours a week, like it doesn't matter. The point is just to commit to work hours that feel good to you and designing your work week intentionally around that. When my clients come to me, for example, my mastermind clients, and they are able to say to me, Anna, my dream work week is to XYZ, that's so useful for me because then as we're making business decisions around like what products they're selling, what their services and offers are, we want to craft that around their dream work week, right? If you want to be on Zoom calls, if you don't want to be on Zoom calls, if you want to take a week off every month, right? All of my packages are designed to fit in my dream work week. My work week right now, I call it a 363. In the challenge, I help you create like a little code for yourself. Basically, the first number is the days of the week, the number of days of the week you want to work. So I work about 3 days a week. So my first number in my code is 3. I like working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The next number in your code is the amount of hours you like to work in a day. I work about 6 hours in a day just so I can get a ton done and then really unplug after that. And then I work about 3 weeks out of the month. I try to block 1 week off every month, either for personal time or for vacation with my kids or extra work time that's like above and beyond like a CEO project or something like that. But really 363 is my structured day. Anyway, so I have structured my client work so that I have a week off every month. And that really is my version of success, right? So my packages, for example, my one-on-one clients were meeting 3 times out of the month. Number one, because that's how I like to run my business, but also because I find for my clients, they need time to integrate, right? They need time to digest the work we're doing together. So anyway, point being, this stuff is so important to bring to your coach, whether it's me or someone else, because this is going to be so custom to you, right? What you want your dream work week and calendar to look like. Okay, what I wanted to do with you today is something a little bit new that I've never done before. And that is walking you through one of these exercises that I created to help you unlock your dream work week desires, right? I don't know about you, but as I've grown my business and income, I feel like this is true in like parenting too. Like there's certain things that we say we'll never do and then we do, right? Or the things we have judgments about and then we realize that, oh my gosh, like I want that thing. And so I'm going to walk you through just verbally how to unlock some of your non-work desires for this next season and some of your work desires. And I want you to just come into this with an open heart and an open mind. And I think you're really going to enjoy this. Okay, let's talk about non-work desires first, right? So let me tell you a story. I realized that I had not just money mindset work to do, but time freedom money mindset work, or time freedom work to do, and really giving myself permission to not just have abundant income, but that it was safe to be happy and have abundant free time. When I realized how much judgments I had around other women, right? So I love my gym so much. And I realized that women go to Pilates at 9 a.m. And at this point, I was working at 9 a.m. And I really had all these thoughts about these women that I did not like. Number one, because I do not like to judge people, right? Like that is not me. But also like I was starting to have this desire to work out in the mornings because I had been working out at night, but I found that I was really enjoying like family dinners at home with my kids and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, what would it look like for me to be like this Pilates woman? And I really had these thoughts around like, are they lazy? Are they dependent on men? Are they unproductive? It seriously kills me to say these things out loud, but that's really what some of my instincts said. And how interesting, it's almost like when we judge wealthy women and then we become the wealthy women, right? Like the women that have and are embracing time freedom, like what do we think about them, right? And so I just want to say to you, be gentle with yourself as I read this exercise aloud to you, and whatever feelings come up, and there's no wrong answers, and just kind of allow it. But I hope that this exercise agitates you a little. Because that's where the beauty is going to come, right? I have a written chart version of this. If you want, I can send you a copy, but I'm just going to do this. I don't know if you've heard of the game like word associations, but the goal is to like not overthink it. I'm going to say some things out loud to you right now. And in your head, you're just going to rate it. I'm going to say a word and it's going to be basically like a non-working desire. And you're either going to say to yourself, I definitely want that, or I'm open to trying it. Yeah, I could try that and see if I like it, right? Another one is I'm not sure. Probably not, right? I'm not sure. And then the last is I for sure don't want that. Again, want it, open to trying, not sure, or don't want it. So I'm going to say these out loud, and I just want you to know in your head any feelings that come up. Maybe the first time you listen through and you just notice what comes up in your body. Maybe the second time you actually jot notes down. I'm going to read the list now. Weekends unplugged. Vacation and travel. Slow mornings off. Long lunch breaks. Ending work by noon. Evenings unplugged. Midday naps. Midday exercise. Midday massage. Midday hobby. Midday time with friends. This last one is kind of a fill in the blank, but as much time as possible as I want for fill in the blank. Maybe it's time with your kids. Maybe it's time for a health challenge you're working on solving in your body. And then anything else related to this that maybe I said that you're like, oh no, I don't want that thing, but I actually want something else that reminded me of. Okay, so your goal is to check off those things that you want, that you're open to trying, that you're not sure, or that you don't want. Okay, the next section is, before you move on, I really encourage you to think through like, what are the 2 things I said from that are the most desiresome for you, or that kind of piqued your interest the most? And then maybe write down why it's important to you, like why you want that thing. Like I said, like, hey, I want to exercise in the morning so I can have more time being present with my kids at night, right? Or maybe you say like, hey, I want a nap so that I feel more energetic for my family in the afternoon or whatever, right? Whatever. Doesn't have to be for everyone else. Okay, next section is work desires, okay? This is such an interesting concept. I used to be really embarrassed of the fact that I would work from my phone all the time when I breastfed, and I actually really liked it, right? Like I had an era where, I worked essentially just so my kids slept, or even on like a quiet Saturday morning, the kid's dad would be present with them or the kids would still be sleeping. And I would wake up and I would be in the office and no client was needing a response from me, but I could just like get some like 2 hours of CEO work done first thing Saturday morning. And I felt really guilty because I was like, oh shoot, like didn't I start my business to have weekends off? And no, I didn't. The truth is that I started my business to work on my schedule and I had nothing to be ashamed of, right? And so as I'm reading this next section to you, just remember there's no wrong answer. Check what comes to mind for you. And again, just approach it with no judgment. Okay, I'm going to read you this list again. And remember the answers are you really want it, you're open to trying, you're not sure, or you don't want it. And this has to do with our work hours, right? Because as I listed off those non-working desires, like we can't do all of them, right? Like obviously we have to work sometime during the day. So thinking through the time that you do work to make money with people you love, what is most relevant for you? Okay, I'm going to read it. Longer work days and a shorter work week. For example, 3 days at 7 hours. Shorter work days and a long work week. For example, 5 days at 4 hours a day. Early mornings, late nights, on weekends, from my phone, from my computer, working at home, working at a coffee shop, working while traveling, working with my kids, partner, roommate, with people home. Working in a quiet house alone. Okay, that was that list. So, and other. If there's something else that kind of piqued your interest, write it down. So now pick one or two of those main working desires and write why that one sticks, write why that one's important to you. I would love to hear it. The reason I'm encouraging you to pick like one or two things from each of these lists too is because it doesn't really work if we try to like go to the buffet and stuff ourselves with all the food, right? It works better if we go to a buffet and we pick our like 3 favorite foods and we really enjoy them, right? So of all these like non-work desires, really, I find that we don't give ourselves permission to pick the most potent one. So then we kind of like half-ass pick like several we don't really even care about, but then we're not really fulfilled by it, right? So maybe like what's most important to you is evenings unplugged, right? But then you'll do some of the other ones and it'll take away from your ability to have the evenings unplugged, right? So just make sure you're being brutally honest with yourself and not feeling guilty around picking the non-work thing you want and the work desire that you want. And then finally, your job is to create an affirmation out of this, right? You've likely worked your money mindset, right? I can be heart-centered and make money. It's safe, not just to make enough money, but abundant income. I can make money in an automated way. But again, we're really working our time freedom mindset, right? It's safe to make 6 figures and have slow mornings. Right? I can take Monday, Friday off and get fully booked with aligned clients, right? I love a long lunch break and walk daily because I can make aligned money with a regulated nervous system. So your job is to make an affirmation out of one of the desires that you uncovered and really affirm it's safe to blank, make your money goal, and have your desire so that the reason you want your desire, right? So maybe one that I would have made when I was starting my business was it's safe to make $74K a year and work super short daily work hours so I can be with my new baby as much as possible. Because what I find is often like we aren't able, even though this challenge is about time, it's really about money too, because I find that when we think that more work, more money equals a stressful schedule and a calendar that we don't like and compromising our values, then we're not going to make more money. If we realize that we can hold on to the calendar, the work schedule, the boundaries that we want, then we can really expect money to fill the gaps and fill into the schedule we created, right? So I would love to hear your affirmation. I would love to hear your work desires, even if maybe you feel embarrassed to say like, Anna, I don't want to start work till noon, or I want to be done by work by noon, right? Own it, express it, admit it, even if you can't. I always tell my team members that work for me, my PA, my OBM, right, my VA, like I always want to know your wish list desires. Even if as your boss, I can't always grant it immediately, whether it's like more money or different work hours. I always want to know it so that I can work towards it. You are your own boss. And are you even telling yourself your desires and what you want? Even if you can't, have long lunch breaks right now, can you at least say it out loud so that you can work your schedule and your business model towards that, right? Start to really get honest with yourself, and then you can start working towards that. Okay, so excited to see how this transforms your work week. I hope you enjoy I also did more of a breakdown of my 3-6-3 because I find a lot of clients love that schedule, working about 3 days a week, 6 hours a day, 3 weeks out of the year. And I would love to help you create that. If you're someone that's already monetizing, specifically if you're already making around $2,000 a month and you're looking to grow and scale to 6 figures and beyond on part-time hours in a flexible schedule in a way that lets you live your happy, boring dream life, as I call it, I would love to invite you to apply to the mastermind. It takes just about 10 minutes to apply. And I would love to review your application and give you personal feedback on the rest of your plan. Even if you decide not to join the mastermind, that application is just this great CEO reflection that helps me see where you're most challenged, and I can send you most resources, the best resources for what you most need to grow next. Okay, sending you the biggest hug and hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.